In this video, you're going to learn how to become a digital millionaire. You'll learn all about minting for crypto. It's the new method of creating digital assets. And also how you can take those profits from crypto minting and put those profits into our very profitable discount and cashback program, where you'll receive 20% saving on everything that you purchase, whether it be for your personal requirements or your business requirements, a 20% saving on everything, followed by a 100% cashback, which makes it absolutely unique and absolutely incredible. And I will be showing you proof of examples and some income scenarios. Now, the video presentation, it's a full presentation. It lasts 1 hour, 45 minutes. So I'm going to recommend that you make sure that you've got the time necessary to sit down and concentrate without any distractions. I'm also going to recommend that you have a pen and a paper to make some notes. And above all, do make sure that you enjoy the video presentation. So let's get started. Hello and welcome. And thank you. Thank you for giving up your time to watch this video. And obviously, that being the case, you're here to learn some information. And my responsibility is to deliver on that and to hopefully provide you some insight into what I describe as the minting, the 20% discount, and the 100% cashback program. And during the course of this presentation, which I'm going to go into full detail, and I'm also going to provide actual proof that this is generating me, in actual fact, $25,609 per month of actually passive income. And so let me get started with a little bit of background information about me and a little bit about cryptocurrency, because this business is based on the subject of crypto. So I'm first of all going to give you a little bit of background information about crypto, about the company, about me, and then I'm going to take you through an actual presentation. And then at the end of that, I'm then going to show you my Google spreadsheet, which shows you all my income coming in on a monthly basis. In fact, it comes in 26 times a month, and it can do the same for you, of course. And I'll also share the app on my tablet, on my iPad, and that also shows these incomes coming into my account 26 times a month. In fact, it shows me specifically what date, what time, and also in terms of seconds as well. So I know right down to the second what time I'm going to get paid each and every time, 26 times monthly. How about that for guaranteed cash flow? So my name is Malcolm Pennington, and if you don't know me, I'm actually from the UK originally, but I have been living in Spain now 25 years. And the reason I'm living in Spain, because I was working hard like many people, and it occurred to me that if people are going to work hard in the UK and then dream one day of retiring abroad, why not do it now? And so that's exactly what I did. I decided to give up the rat race. I came to live in Spain. I had £20 to my name, and I'd always had a good life in the UK, new cars and holidays abroad, etc. But in terms of actual savings, because of circumstances, I actually had zero. And so I came on a wing and a prayer, if you like, to Spain, and I became very successful in the real estate market. In fact, within the following 3 to 5 years, I built up one of the largest property companies in Spain with 164 staff, with no partners, no borrowings, no loans, selling thousands of properties. And actually, if you're from the UK, you'll be familiar with The Witch magazine. My company was recommended by The Witch magazine as the best real estate company in Spain for providing good quality customer service and value. And that's what I think a good business is all about. It's, can we provide value and service to our customers? And can we build a name and a reputation and a brand around that? And that's what I did in the real estate market, and I did it very, very quickly. And in fact, if you look over my right shoulder there, you'll see some low-level property, and I bought a unit there. It was a 3,000 square foot apartment on 2 floors, and with a balcony all the way around. And I bought that for less than 400,000 euros, and I bought that 18 years ago. Okay, 18 years ago. So you might say that was having vision. Well, I believe it was, because those people who got in on buying property in Dubai, and if you don't recognize that skyline behind me, it's actually Dubai Marina. And Dubai Marina is now recognized as the world's largest man-made marina, okay? And I had the good fortune, because I was successful in the real estate market, of buying that apartment cash. And I bought it, as I say, 18 years ago for less than $400,000. That apartment today is worth over 5 million. Okay, so pretty good investment. But what I was thinking when I was in Dubai, literally in March of this year, because I went to Dubai, in fact, I took my 94-year-old mother, because there was a global convention for this company at the Atlantis Hotel. And so I decided to go for a month. In fact, I was thinking in terms of staying longer. And I'm still thinking about possibly moving to Dubai to live on a permanent basis for all the tax benefits, of course. But whilst I was in Dubai, I was thinking, you know, the people who made the big money in Dubai were not the people who've been buying in the last 3, 4, 5 years, although they have been making money, because real estate has been growing in value, of course, since day one. But the people who've been making really big money are those people who had the vision in the early days. Those people who bought the land, the people who speculated on the land, which obviously, as we all know, it was only a desert. It was just raw land. And those people who speculated and bought that land in the early days, those made absolute fortunes. The construction companies, the engineering companies, the contract workers, the estate agents, all those people that got behind that vision and made it happen were those people who became multimillionaires and even billionaires, because they were in the right place at the right time and took action. And of course, as I mentioned, I did very well, and I only did well merely as a real estate investor. But those people who really made the money were those people who actually created Dubai. And of course, it's still being built to this day. So with that in mind, the reason I'm pointing that out is because with crypto, we have a similar scenario again. And that scenario is, if you haven't already realized and have not heard on the news, there's a subject called CBDC. So what is CBDC? It's short for Central Bank Digital Currency. And that's right, all the central banks are introducing their digital currency within the next few years. In fact, this week, at the time of this recording, here we are in July, this week, Joe Biden himself, the president of the US, announced that they are introducing their own digital currency. Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister in the UK, has quoted that they're also introducing their own digital currency. They've quoted it in the next decade, or within this decade, but I believe it's going to be probably in the next 2 to 3 years or so. And all European countries and many countries around the world will do the same. And the reason, one of the reasons that's going to happen is because there's a huge debt situation. Of course, we all know that all these countries are massively in debt. The countries really are struggling to service those debts. And that's also leading to financial problems and high inflation. And of course, whether people have got professional careers, whether they might be doctors or nurses, those are typically on strike much of the time. Teachers have been on strike much of the time because they're looking for more income. And business owners, of course, many businesses closed down with the COVID pandemic. Many have still been struggling since because with high inflation. And of course, many people now are thinking about how they can generate additional income, perhaps start a business, perhaps start a business working from home, which is where the money is to be earned. You know, let's face it, I used to have huge offices, vehicles, advertising, marketing, wages, 164 wages to pay out. It's a huge expense every month out of the gross income. But with an online business, the overheads can be extremely minimal. So with that in mind, we're talking about the introduction of digital currency. That's going to happen a bit like decimalisation. I remember in my early school days when we had the introduction of decimalisation. We went from having 240 pence in the pound to 100. Many people didn't like that, and that was obviously to the benefit of the country again. Many people would say to the detriment of the general public. And now with CBDC, many people would argue that that's also going to be to the detriment of the general public. But one thing that many people are more concerned about with CBDC is the fact that it can be, and it will be, totally controlled. What does that mean? Well, unlike at the moment with what we call the fiat currency system, whether it be pounds sterling or euros or dollars, you can take those dollars or euros or pounds and spend them anywhere in the world. Of course, there's a limit to how much currency you can bring out of the country, but effectively you can spend that money anywhere that you choose to, anywhere around the world. But with new digital currency that's going to be introduced by these countries, it's going to be totally controlled, which means they will control where you spend it, when you spend it, how you spend it, and who you spend it with. And in fact, it's even been rumoured it will even have an expiry date, which means that if you don't spend it within a certain time, you won't be able to spend it at all. So this is what they call the big brother. And many people have been talking about this, that, this is what's happening now. More and more people are losing their individuality because the government is taking more and more control of people on a daily basis. So if this digital currency is going to become mainstream, then my question to you is, do you want to just move with the rest of the general public and wait to see what happens? Or do you want to be ahead of the trend and hopefully put together some kind of system which would be, in our opinion, a far better system? Because this system that I'm talking about puts you in control rather than somebody else in control. So talking about cryptocurrency, I do have experience on the subject. Just like I bought my apartment in Dubai 18 years ago, I bought my first crypto over 10 years ago. I can't remember the actual date, but I do remember that when I bought my Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin was $250 a coin. And today the value is over 20,000. I've not checked it recently, but it did go up to $67,000. So if you haven't already heard, it's been quoted many times that the best investment in the history of the world was not gold, was not shares, was not investing in Apple or Amazon or real estate. It was actually investing in Bitcoin, okay? That has proven to be the best investment in the history of the world, because that initially went on sale for a matter of a few cents, and it went all the way up to $67,000. And many people who got in the early stages, and I got in when it was $250 a coin, became multimillionaires and even billionaires. Now, unfortunately, for most people, they have a little bit of a sheep mentality, if I can call it that. Most people don't like to be in too early. They typically get involved with things when their friends, their colleagues, their next door neighbours have got in on something, whether it be, I don't know, the internet, or whether it be colour television, or whatever it might be. Most people don't like to be the first, but I like to be in ahead of the trend, because that, after all, is where the money is. So yes, you can see I do have a fair amount of experience in crypto. I've seen companies come along, I've seen companies disappear, I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm here to provide you information on what I believe is the best thing moving forward. So what is this company I'm going to be talking about on this presentation? It's a company based in Dubai, and hence why I've got Dubai behind me. And they operate from a head office in Dubai. In fact, they occupy 3 floors in a business district called Jumeirah Lake Towers. Anybody is welcome to visit the head office and meet with the leadership and even the owners of the company. The owner of the company is recognized as a billionaire, and not only that, but is a successful venture capitalist and one of the 10 most influential individuals in the world today on the subject of cryptocurrency. And is actually listed on the same list as people like Elon Musk, etc. So he's definitely a mover and a shaker. And what I like about him as an individual is he doesn't need the money. He's completely committed to seeing the success of this company and this corporation. And he wants to bring value to the general public. And I truly believe that. And what his mission is to not only create cryptocurrency, but also to create an ecosystem of projects which actually use this form of crypto. Because with Bitcoin, for example, which incidentally is one of over 20,000 different cryptos, if you go to coinmarketcap.com, you'll find there's more than 20,000 cryptos on the market. So if you want to invest and speculate in crypto, the question is, of course, which one do you pick? And last year in 2022, we had a bear market all the way through last year and the early part of 2023, where the value of crypto lost over 2/3 of its value, including Bitcoin. That's when Bitcoin came down from 67,000 to just below 20,000. So it lost over 2/3 of its value, and many people got in and many people got out when it lost value. So this is not for those people who get nervous when the values start to fall, because it is very cyclical. Goes up in value, goes down in value. But the long-term trend is definitely upwards. And there's evidence to prove that every 4 years, when we get what we call a halving effect with Bitcoin, when the rate of production actually halves by 50%, then that also has a significant impact on the values of the cryptocurrency market. So every 4 years, typically we experience a higher high, but within those 4 years, the values can drop substantially. But with all those cryptos, nobody's actually created a user case scenario or utility coin that can be used for any specific purpose. Their only purpose of cryptos is purely speculative. Now, of course, there are companies that have created exchanges and Visa debit cards or Mastercards, and I've got several, where you can transfer this crypto, put it onto your debit card and go and spend it anywhere in the world where Visa is accepted or Mastercard is accepted. And I would say for the last 5 years, at least 4 or 5 years, I've lived my entire life on the benefits of using either my crypto Visa card or my crypto Mastercard. So that's how I lived my life. When I went to Dubai, for example, in March, I paid for my flights with crypto. I paid for my hotel with crypto. I paid for my taxis in Dubai with crypto. And I also paid for my restaurant bills in Dubai with my crypto. So anywhere where you can spend Visa or MasterCard, you can actually spend crypto. So a little bit more about this company again. As I say, they operate from 3 floors in a tower block in the Jumeirah Lake Towers business district of Dubai. I visited the offices there, met with the owner and met with all the top leaders. And that's how I came to make my business decision to put my time, my effort, my money into this business, because I believe it's got a great, great future. In fact, at the global convention, which took place in the Atlantis Hotel, one of the major hotels in Dubai, there were more than 2,500 top leaders who arrived from around the world, from places like New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Korea, India, Bangladesh, Africa, South America, UK, of course, all to find out the latest about what's happening with this amazing company. So what is amazing about this company, apart from the fact that they've created an ecosystem of different projects, is the fact that it was established in 2016, which makes it 7 years of age now. And that makes it the longest established crypto networking company in the world. What I mean by networking is this company has expanded purely on the strength of word of mouth advertising. We use MLM or multi-level marketing. Many people have got a misunderstanding of multi-level marketing, but has actually been proven to be the most effective method of expanding a business, expanding a corporation through word of mouth advertising, because the company doesn't spend any money on advertising or marketing. In fact, 81% of all the revenue that's generated goes back out to the field to pay people like me to help build the revenue of the company. So it can be extremely profitable for those people like me who decide to run this as a business. Now, I'm not suggesting to you that you might want to give up your day job or even give up your business, but if you are looking for additional income and you want to develop your knowledge and your understanding of crypto, and at the same time create income as you go forward, then this is the ideal opportunity to do so. Okay, so yes, it was established in 2016, and also in that time, it's developed a community of more than 2.5 million customers. That's right, 2.5 million customers. The goal now is to reach 10 million customers and on towards 100 million customers. So I believe that this could be the next Amazon or the next Facebook. You know, it's slow, it's heavy going at the moment because people are a little bit resistant to adopt crypto, but equally more and more people are getting involved, more and more people are understanding it, and more people like me are using it on a daily basis. So yes, it was established in 2016. They've got head office in Dubai, where they occupy 3 floors. They've generated a community of more than 2.5 million members, and they've generated billions in terms of revenue. And because they pay out 81% to the community for helping to build the revenue, it means last year, 2022, more than €1 billion was paid out to the community as a thank you. So yes, it can be extremely lucrative. So with that being said, that gives you my insight into crypto, gives you my insight into this company, and it's also told you a little bit about what's going to be happening with the introduction of CBDC and the fact that most people are most concerned about that and that they want a plan B. And this happens to be today the most successful, longest established crypto networking company in the world today. And within the last 7 years, during the lifetime of this company, there have been literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of companies that have come along with big plans, big ideas, and they've all disappeared through either bad management, bad policies, but generally speaking, disappeared and taken the capital of all those early investors. And many people have had bad experiences of crypto, but I want you to understand that this is not perfect. This is not a perfect company. I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect company. They're learning all the time. But having said that, this company has got tremendous insight, it's got tremendous experience, and as I say, it is the most successful, longest established, and the largest crypto networking company in the world today. So that completes my overview about what you're going to be learning in the next part of the presentation. And in the next part of the presentation, I'm going to take you through a professional PDF presentation, which will hopefully add further understanding and further insight into how this minting, the discount and the cashback program actually works. And before I actually do that, let me just mention one thing finally, and that is that just recently it was quoted that 92.5% of all the Bitcoin has already been mined. Now, mining is the terminology that we use to create Bitcoin, but it's a technological process. It uses heavy-duty computers solving very, very complex, very, very complicated algorithms and formulas. And this algorithm and formula is becoming more and more complex over time. And that means that it's becoming more and more difficult and slower to produce Bitcoin, and therefore not as profitable as it was in the early days. And that means that the remaining 7.5%, because of the slow process of mining and because of the complexity of it today, and it also uses huge amounts of electricity, which is not very popular these days, because obviously we're looking towards moving into a greener environment. This is not the way forward, but it's been estimated that it will take until the year 2140, which is over 120 years, before they finish mining the remaining 7.5% of Bitcoin. And at the moment, there's over 19 million Bitcoins in the global market today. And when it finishes mining in about 2140, there will only be 21 million coins. But I'm going to show you in this presentation a coin where there will be no more than 1 million, which means it's going to be more scarce than Bitcoin. And also, this company has the track record of being the only company in history to ever produce a coin that ever became more valuable than Bitcoin. Because in December 2021, it produced a coin that entered the market at 10 cents, much like Bitcoin. And in April of 2022, you can check on CoinMarketCap, it actually went up to over $100,000 a coin. In fact, I believe it hit $114,000 per coin. That was within 4 months. So you can imagine many of those people within our company who actually got in on that coin in the early days back in December 2021 and hung on to that coin till April, became extremely wealthy very, very quickly. And that's the history of this company. But unfortunately, what happened is those people sold those assets, and that brought the value of the coin down. And also don't forget that the crypto market lost 2/3 of its value last year as well. So that brought the value of that coin down to, I think, around about $20. Okay, so there are those people who got in too late, and those people who got in too late and sold it. Those people would claim that they lost money. And there are those people who got in at the right time, and those people made a fortune. But that's a little bit like real estate. You know, if you buy real estate today, would you expect to sell it in 3 or 4 months' time and expect to make a huge profit? The answer, of course, is no. Most people hang on to real estate for at least 5 or 10 years. And if you're looking at getting involved in cryptocurrency, I'd like you to take my advice, if I can give you this advice, and that is, don't treat this as a get rich quick program. I don't believe in getting rich quick in any business. Do treat this as a 5 to 10 year program. And with that mindset, I think you'd be extremely impressed and very, very happy the fact that you got involved at the right time, in the right way, with the right company. So that completes my overview and the introduction. I'm now going to take you through my presentation to add further insight and further information into what is this minting process and the discount and the cashback. And incidentally, talking about the fact that 92.5% or 92.5% of Bitcoin has already been mined, it's been quoted by the technical experts that maybe we should be looking at some alternative method of generating these digital assets. And the method they've been recommending is what they call crypto minting or crypto farming. And so what is crypto minting or what is crypto farming? Well, that's what we do. We actually produce these coins automatically, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by using an application which we can download free of charge onto our iPhone, to our smartphone, to our tablet. And this application produces these coins, and these coins we can transfer to this Mastercard that the company actually provide. And the Mastercard, incidentally, comes with the benefit of a fully functional online bank account, fully regulated by the FCA, which is the Financial Conduct Authority in London. And this online bank account, you can actually deposit a multitude of fiat currencies, things like pound sterling, US dollars, Chinese yuan, Japanese yen, euros, etc. And also a multitude of different crypto coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and our own coins, things like Ultima Tokens, smart coins, etc. And all of these coins, once you put them onto your Mastercard, you can go and spend them anywhere in the world, just as you would do with your normal Mastercard. So that completes my introduction. I don't want to ramble anymore. I want to now take you through this presentation to provide you with more insight into this minting, discount and cashback program. Okay, so let's get started. This is the Ultima presentation. We're going to learn about Ultima minting for the Ultima tokens, and also how we can transfer those profits from Ultima minting into the discount and the cashback program. And of course, all of this is thanks to smart contract technology, which means it's fully automated, completely 100% passive. So if you're busy with your professional career or your business and you have no time for distractions, that's understandable. But of course, if you're like most people, you would like additional income, additional revenue. And if you have a chance to save 20% on all your expenses plus a 100% cashback, then I'm sure, like everybody, you're going to be very interested to find out how. So this is our income disclaimer. I'm not here to provide financial advice. For your information, in the UK, I was a financial advisor. I've also been a financial advisor working in Abu Dhabi, advising the expats on how to grow their capital, both in the medium term and the long term. But that's with regulated financial products. And the cryptocurrency market is a completely unregulated market, which means it has inherent risks. But of course, with risk comes opportunity. And we all know that with the regulated products, take, for example, a pension, you ask the average person who's been saving for 25 years with their pension, ask them, has it produced what they anticipated? Has it even produced what was promised? And because of inflation, because of management costs, because of commissions, these regulated products typically are not producing anything like what they ought to be producing to provide comfortable retirement and to provide comfortable living, which is what they're designed for. So this is something which is possible with cryptocurrency, but of course, I'm not here to advise you. This is just my personal opinion. So you have to go through this presentation. Of course, I'm always available to ask any questions, but you have to make a business decision if this is something that you believe is something that's suitable for you and your circumstances, and you have to be responsible for your decisions as well, of course. So I'm going to be talking about three things. How do you earn money? How do you save money? And how do you multiply money? And of course, those three questions are the same questions that everybody around the world is asking right now. So typically, how do you earn money? Well, of course, many people would choose a professional career, but I think it goes without question that if you have a successful business, potentially going to earn a lot more money than you would do by doing any kind of professional career. Typically speaking, it comes with a lot of risk, of course. But a good business takes maybe 5 years or so to get established, and there's a lot of risk, and the return on capital perhaps might be 10 or 20% per annum, with a lot of hard work as well and a lot of risk. But once people have generated income, whether it be from a professional career or maybe from a business, then how do people save money? Well, one of the preferred methods over the last 20, 30 years or so has been to invest in real estate. There are more buy-to-let landlords today than ever before. Many people have made tremendous profits and built substantial property portfolios. But today, due to the high interest rates, we all know that many of those landlords are selling those properties. Some of them are selling their entire property portfolio because the income is just not sufficient to service those high commercial loans or those residential mortgages. And so therefore they're offloading those properties and selling them on the open market. And if the financial situation around the world gets any worse, who knows, we could be in for a financial crisis where, as we saw last time, property values could fall as much as 40%. So that's also a very risky market as well. Good in the good times, but when the bad times arrive, as they always do, property market is the first thing to be affected, along with the stock market, of course. And in the real estate market, if you are involved in real estate as an investor, then most investors would agree that if they can generate a 5% return on capital per annum, then they're doing very, very nicely. But of course, there's a lot of risk and a lot of work involved in managing property. So that's not really the perfect way to save their money either, not in my opinion. Now, once you've made money from business and you're starting to save money, how do you actually multiply it? Well, of course, you can grow the business, but that's adding to the risk. How do you actually multiply what you've already got? Well, most people in the private sector and even in the business market, they simply just put their money into a bank account. And, if you're a business owner, whether it's a small business, a medium-sized business, or perhaps a large business, that can be a substantial amount. It can be hundreds of thousands. It can even be millions of euros or pounds. And if that's sitting in a bank account waiting for a rainy day, that's okay. But the return on that capital might be less than 1%, and it probably is. So with inflation at more like 10%, that money is moving and losing value at the rate of 9% per annum. So those are the sort of questions that people are asking right now. And I believe that crypto could be a solution for millions of people around the world. So let's have a look at the history of money and how it all started. Well, of course, originally, people used to do business by barter. So that's how it all started. Then coins were introduced, particularly gold coins. Then we had banknotes. Then we had checks. I think we all remember the days when people used to write checks for everything, going to a restaurant and pay with a check and pay for everything with a check. But many of those checks used to bounce, if you remember. And then we had plastic cards when they were introduced. And then, of course, with the internet, we had online banking. And more recently, we've now got mobile processing companies processing mobile payments. And of course, we've got people like PayPal. But today, we've now got digital currency. And this is the future of digital money. Everything else has been digitalized. We've got digitalized music. We've got digitalized communication in the form of an email. So why not have digitalized money? And that's exactly what we do have with digital currency. And the great thing about digital currency is the fact that you can send small amounts or large amounts from your account to any receiving account anywhere in the world, and it will typically arrive literally within seconds or within a minute or two. And whether it's a small amount, let's say for less than a few euros, which under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be feasible to send a few euros from your bank account because maybe your bank might charge you 20 euros just to send that transfer. Then with crypto, you can send any payment, large or small, and it will take typically a few euros or dollars to actually send that cryptocurrency, and it's going to arrive safely. And once the recipient receives that currency, they can transfer it to their crypto debit card, go and spend it anywhere in the world, and it's real currency. And of course, that cryptocurrency can also be converted into fiat currency, whether it be euros, pounds sterling, or dollars, and transferred to a bank account in the normal fashion. So in terms of the blockchain, crypto, as you may know, sits on the blockchain, just like a website sits on the internet. The blockchain is where all the crypto is actually stored. And at this moment in time, it's estimated that there are something like 50 million companies who are now using the blockchain. And these companies include the banks and the finance sector, the supply chain, the healthcare sector, the insurance market, the energy markets, the real estate market, general trade, and the government. And it's estimated that within the next 7 years, by 2030, there will be more than 1 billion companies using the blockchain. So if you made a mistake with the internet by not understanding it as soon as you might have done, by not getting involved in the internet as soon as you might have done, don't make the same mistake with crypto, because it's going to happen with or without you. So what is our mission? Well, the mission of this company is to become the world's most widely used digital currency. And above all, to provide an ecosystem in the crypto space that's available to everyone. Because if we look at cryptos that have been created in the past, including Bitcoin, have been purely speculative. Now, of course, you can transfer crypto onto a number of different crypto debit cards, and I've got a number of them. But apart from being speculative, they're is no specific user reason as to where you can physically spend that crypto. So the only demand for crypto at the moment is purely from speculators and investors and people who are buying it in the hope that it's going to go up in value. So this company has created a complete ecosystem of different projects and products and services where the only form of payment is in the form of crypto, and the crypto that you need to actually purchase these products and services is the crypto that this company has actually created. So therefore creating demand for the crypto, which therefore is going to increase the future value of that crypto. So this company has been established 7 years. It was established in 2016, currently has more than 2.5 million members, and all of those have been recommended personally by a personal friend or a business acquaintance. As I mentioned before, the company spend no money whatsoever on advertising or marketing, so that's a good sign of a good business. And of course, at this stage, they've got proof of concept. In other words, that this system is proven to work, and it's a proven business model. They've got proof of business because they've generated billions of euros of revenue. They've got proof that this technology works. It's not theory, it's actually proven to physically work. And of course, they've got proof that the market exists and the market is growing on a daily basis. So who's at the top of the ship? Who runs this business? Well, an individual called Alex Reinhardt. I've had the pleasure of meeting Alex on a number of occasions, and he's quoted as one of the top 10 most influential people in the world on the subject of both blockchain and cryptocurrency. He lives in Dubai. He works extremely hard. He's in the office most days. And in fact, he sends a voice message to the community on a daily basis, and he does a regular webinar. So like a lot of crypto companies who are completely invisible, shall we say, this individual makes himself completely transparent. He's very open, very honest, very excellent at what he does, and is basically the cause of this success within this company. Now, all these different business publications have written glowing articles about Alex, and also he's been quoted as one of the top 100 most influential people residing in Dubai. So I'm going to talk about what are the functions of Ultima. Well, Ultima is a token. And while we're talking about tokens, what's the difference between a token and a coin? Well, Bitcoin, for example, is a coin because it sits on its own blockchain. Bitcoin is a blockchain, but Ultima Token is a token because it doesn't sit on its own blockchain, it sits on someone else's blockchain. And the blockchain that it sits on is not any old blockchain, it's called a smart blockchain. And that smart blockchain is more technologically advanced than a blockchain. It's faster, it's more reliable, it has more capacity. And this smart blockchain was created by this company to not just host Ultima Tokens, but also to host all these different products and services, and also to invite other companies who have their own projects to actually host their projects and services on this particular smart blockchain. And the gas fee, as we call it, for the smart blockchain is a coin called Smart Coin. So Smart Coin is a little bit like Ethereum. Ethereum sits on its own blockchain, Ethereum, and of course Ethereum is the gas fee for the Ethereum blockchain. And because of the demand, the value of Ethereum has gone up to somewhere in the region of about $2,000. Now, the value of Smart Coin at the moment is around about 10 cents. So if this is to appreciate in value like we believe it will do, Smart Coin is also a fantastic investment moving forward. I'm not guaranteeing that it will be. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm putting a lot of my crypto into Smart Coin because I believe over the next few years, it will prove to be a wise decision. So that's the difference between a coin and a token. And effectively, we can do three things. The first thing, we can use it as a payment tool to buy goods and services, particularly on all these different platforms. It's the only form of payment that you can use. And the second thing is you can earn from it because you can use it in the discount and the cashback program where you're going to receive 20% discount on everything you purchase, along with a 100% cashback. And also you can save with Ultima Tokens, so that when the demand continues and the demand continues around the globe, then the demand is going to push up the value like it did do with Bitcoin, and therefore all those people holding Ultima are going to be seeing some very positive returns on their balance. So I'm going to be talking about what we call tokenomics. So these are the numbers behind the actual token. And if you remember, I did mention that the company introduced a coin, PLCU coin, back in December 2021, which was introduced at 10 cents. And the coin, which was introduced in December 2021, went up to $114,000 in April of 2022, just last year. So within 4 months, it went from 10 cents to $114,000. And it's the only coin in the history of crypto that ever increased to a value greater than Bitcoin. And when you consider that there are more than 20,000 coins in the marketplace, that is obviously an indicator that this company happened to know what they're actually doing. So the tokenomics are just the same as they were for the PLCU coin, which was launched back in December 2021. It has an initial supply of just 20,000, very small, very limited initial supply. And when this token has finished minting, there will be no more than 1 million tokens in the market. Now, if you compare that with Bitcoin, for example, Bitcoin currently has just around about 19 million coins in the market. So this is very, very limited by comparison. And just recently, it's been quoted that 92.5% of all the Bitcoin has already been mined, and Bitcoin is mined as what Bitcoin does. It's mined on very heavy duty, very high performing computers. It uses a huge amount of electricity, and it solves mathematical algorithms and formulas to produce Bitcoin. And because the complexity is getting more and more complicated, the challenge to produce Bitcoin is becoming more and more difficult, and the rate of production is becoming slower and slower. So it's been estimated that the Bitcoin, the remaining 2 million Bitcoins, because there will be 21 million Bitcoins when they finished producing, will take up until the year 2140. So another 120 years thereabouts before they finish mining for Bitcoin. So it has been said that investors need to look at a better method of creating these digital assets, and everyone is talking now about minting, which is exactly what this company do to bring those tokens and coins into the market from what we call minting. But as you can see, the actual supply, the initial supply is very limited. The maximum supply will be no more than 1 million, and it is very safe and secure. It's decentralized. As I mentioned, it sits on our own smart blockchain. So it's very, very quick, very fast, very reliable. And of course, due to the global community that we have, which is currently more than 2.5 million customers and rising, it's got instant demand and instant liquidity from day one. So these are the things I'm talking about. I'm talking about vouchers in the discount and the cashback program. I'm talking about a debit card, because you can actually buy this debit card. It's just 110 euros. There's a 99 euro one-time payment to make to acquire this debit card. And there's also a 10 euro a month maintenance fee. But this debit card is a fully functional online bank account, fully regulated by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority in London, in the UK. And all of these tokens you can transfer onto this debit card and spend anywhere in the world where Mastercard is accepted. So little will the restaurants or the hotels realize that you're paying in crypto. They think that you're just paying with euros or pound sterling, but the reality is your crypto or your Ultima Tokens is being automatically converted into fiat currency, and the restaurant or the hotel where you might be using this card receives their usual fiat currency, and the balance is subtracted from your crypto balance, and it does it literally within seconds. So that's how the debit card works. We've also got our own exchange, and of course, in this exchange, you can receive these crypto assets, you can receive fiat currency as well, and you can convert it, you can transfer it, you can withdraw it, and due to demand, we believe that the value of this Ultima token, which is currently $10,000 a coin, or should I say a token, is going to rise from 10,000 up to $100,000 a token, and probably it's going to do that within the next 5 years. And of course, I'm talking about crypto farming, or as some people might prefer to call it, crypto minting. So basically, whether we're talking about minting or the discount and the cashback program, the first thing we do is we buy a license. This is how the company generate their revenue. This is how they make their profit. So we get started in minting, we buy a license. I'll talk about the cost of these licenses in just a few moments, but depending on the cost of the license, that will determine how much you can actually mint, and therefore how much you can actually produce. So once you've started minting and you've started generating these tokens, what you can do then is you can then buy a cashback license. And the same again, depending on the size of the cashback license, that will determine how much you can spend on shopping vouchers. But for every €1,000 that you spend on shopping vouchers, you're going to get 1,200 euros worth in shopping points. So effectively getting a 20% discount on everything that you purchase. So whether you use this shopping and cashback program for your own personal requirements, or you might use it in business, you can use it for literally anything, whether it be shopping, fuel, you can buy cars with it. We've had many people in Dubai when we were testing this system, buying supercars, buying real estate, or you might just want to use it to pay for energy bills, for literally anything. And this is going to make a big difference right now when people are worrying about the cost of inflation and their rising energy bills and everything that goes with it, of course. So once you've actually bought that license, then you can buy these vouchers. And I'm giving you 3 examples here of the type of vouchers that you can purchase. The one on the left there is called Mega Marché. It's a voucher which is available and very popular in Germany. So I don't know about that, but so I'm told. The one on the right-hand side is a voucher that you can buy for Coinsbit. There's also one that you can buy for Binance. So if you already have experience of using crypto and you've got a Binance account like I have, then for every $1,000 worth of vouchers that you buy on Binance, you're going to receive $1,200 worth of crypto inside your Binance account. But for most people, what they want to do is they want to buy this Ultima members voucher. So for every 1,000 euros that you spend on vouchers for the Ultima members program, you're going to receive 1,200 euros that will be transferred automatically to your debit card. So that's basically how it works. There's also a voucher that you can use for Amazon, but obviously if you just simply use the Ultima members voucher, then those funds are going to go onto your debit card and you can use them literally online or offline, anywhere where Mastercard is accepted. And that just gives you another example. If you spend 10,000 euros on vouchers, you're going to get 12,000 euros worth of shopping points, and you can use those shopping points literally anywhere, especially if you've added those funds to your Ultima Mastercard. So the Ultima Mastercard, as I mentioned, there's a cost to acquire this, but you can also use the virtual card, which comes completely free of charge. And that's exactly how it works. As I say, it's a fully functional online bank account, fully regulated, and people obviously love using this Ultima debit card. So this is the exchange we're talking about, and it's currently got, as I say, more than 2.5 million users, and the vision for the company is to grow this customer base, first of all, to 10 million and onwards towards 100 million users and more. So I believe in the cryptocurrency market. This is the world's largest, most successful crypto networking company in the world today. And I believe it's like the next Amazon. So the company has big goals, and you can be a part of this completely passively. You don't have to recommend it to anybody. I'm actually operating this as a business, but the choice is yours. You don't have to share this with anybody. If you just want to be involved in generating passive income, then obviously this is the best way to do so. This is a little bit about the exchange. And just to give you a bit of an overview, we've got the Ultima Marketplace, a bit like an Amazon platform where you can go in there, use the Ultima tokens to buy numerous different products and services. We've got the Ultima crowdfunding platform. Crowdfunding, of course, is becoming more and more popular. We've got the Ultima Travel Club. And this is no different to booking.com or any of those travel portals that you might have used previously. But with the Ultima Travel Club, you can save up to 90% on all the hotels that you might want to book in the future, flights, car rental, cruises, and there are millions and millions of hotels that you can use in there, all with up to a discount of maybe 90%. And the reason and the way that we can offer these huge discounts is because this company I'm referring to, don't put any profit margins onto that platform. So effectively, you're getting that travel at wholesale price, because this company is purely a crypto company. They make their profit from the movement of crypto. And so basically they want you to use these different platforms, these different products and services. And they know that if you use those services, you're going to have to use Ultima token, and that's going to have a positive effect on the future value. And that's good for everybody, of course. We've got the Ultima Exchange, as I mentioned. We've got the Ultima debit cards. We've got the minting or the farming. And that's a little bit about the ecosystem that this company has created. So it's basically very, very simple. When I got started just over 12 months ago, I had to download the minting application to my smartphone. And in fact, I also downloaded it to my tablet. And then I also had to download the minting wallet. So it's a little bit technical, a little bit complicated. I must admit, it took me maybe an hour. But now we don't have to download anything, because you can register a free account. All you have to do is speak to the person who referred you to this video or to this presentation, and they will provide you their referral link, and you can register a free account completely free of charge. You need to verify that account, verify your email and prove your ID, etc. And once you've done all of that, then there's nothing to stop you from buying your minting license and buying what we call your farming unit. Once you've done that, you can then go ahead and buy your cashback license and then buy the vouchers as well. And to complete all of those processes, literally you can do that maybe within 15 or 20 minutes. It's very, very simple. So it's very fast and very simple. And there are no special skills required. It's also, of course, completely secure, and it's completely automated. As I mentioned on my presentation earlier on, I can show you, and I will show you, how I know when I'm going to get paid, what day I'm going to get paid, and also what time in terms of hours, minutes, and even seconds. So this is all thanks to what we call smart contract technology. Smart contracts are written in what's called immutable code on the blockchain, which means they cannot be changed. And so the rules of the program are written in this code, and these rules state when you're going to get paid. And that's why you can see when you log into your account specifically when each month you're physically going to get paid. And on my account, I'm currently getting paid 26 times a month. And perhaps you can do exactly the same as well. So obviously we're talking about farming or minting, and we're also talking about earning as well, because this system, which I'm going to share with you, is a system where not only can you create these Ultima tokens, but you can also compound them when you put them into the discount and the cashback program as well. So 3 steps. We're talking about buying a license. We're then talking about freezing the assets. In the case of minting, you're going to freeze your assets for 5 years, and those assets are automatically released after 60 months all done by smart contract. And in the case of the discount and the cashback program, then those assets are returned to you over 36 months. But effectively, for both the minting and the discount program, you're going to buy a license, one for each. And then once you bought the license, you're then going to buy either the farming unit for the minting or the vouchers for the discount and the cashback program. And once you've done that, then you're going to be minting these tokens and multiplying them and compounding them as you move forward. So these are some examples of the different minting licenses. You'll remember I mentioned that the more expensive the license, the more tokens it's going to create and generate. Now, you can see they start from as little as 110 euros, they go all the way up to 550,000 euros. And in my presentation later on, I'm going to give you some working examples, some scenarios of how much you would generate if you used anything from the 1,100 euro license upwards. I would highly recommend you don't consider anything less than 1,100, but of course, if you want to just put your toe in the water and start with 110, that's perfectly okay. But I'm showing you some examples a little bit later on in the presentation, whether you start with 1,100, maybe 5,500, maybe 11,000, or maybe more. I've bought lots and lots of licenses, and that's why I'm now generating currently $25,609 every single month. And of course, what I'm also doing, which is absolutely amazing, I'm actually converting all of those coins into the new smart coin. So if the smart coin should go up 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times, then of course you can imagine what those assets are going to be worth moving forward. So this is basically what's happening. As I mentioned before, we've got the initial supply of 20,000 and we have a reducing supply. The reducing supply is determined by what we call the minting speed. So the minting speed reduces by 10% every week, every month, and on the fourth week of the month, it reduces by 20%. What does that mean? It means that instead of receiving currently 1,000% return on your frozen assets, after the first week, it will only produce 990. After the second week, 980. But don't get confused, because once you've purchased your license and you've purchased your farming unit, then your minting speed is locked and secured for the entire duration of that smart contract. So today, as we speak, the minting speed is 1,000%, which means this minting technology will produce 10 times the quantity of what you freeze in your minting account. If you leave it a week or two, it might be a little bit less, or it will be a little bit less. If you leave it a little bit longer, even less. So timing is of the essence. The longer you leave it before you buy your minting license, the less it's going to produce. But at the time of recording, our minting speed is at the maximum of 1,000. That's right, 1,000%. And it means that currently you will generate 17% per month for 60 months. And effectively, you'll be generating 20% of that revenue the first year, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth, meaning that at the end of 5 years, you've actually seen a return of 10 times your initial outlay, plus a full refund of those frozen assets as well. In fact, those are automatically refunded into your account by smart contract at the end of 60 months. And the other thing to bear in mind is during those 5 years, we anticipate that the value of the token is also going to continue appreciating. And it's more than likely that within those 5 years, that the value of the token could go up maybe 10 times. At the moment, the value of the token is only $10,000 a coin. And if it was to go to $100,000 a coin, like we believe, or $100,000 a token, should I say, that's a tenfold appreciation on what it is today, which is, when you see my presentation a little bit later on, you'll see that that is absolutely amazing. So this shows you again the ecosystem. We've got things like copy trading coming out later on in the year, freezing games online vouchers, as you can see, and all of these use this Ultima token as a form of payment. And this is the last slide in this presentation. It's talking about the business of Ultima. So for those people who decide they want to run this as a business, or maybe they just want to introduce a few of their friends or colleagues, what do you receive in terms of commission? Well, initially, you're going to receive 20% commission on the value of all those licenses that you sell. Now, I don't believe in selling. I believe that it's all about sharing. So if you and I share this information to your contacts and they decide that they want to be a part of this, then when they make their payment for those licenses, you're going to get paid immediately. It's paid in real time, all by smart contract technology. So for every €1,000 that they spend on a license, you're going to get paid 20%, which would be €200. And that's available immediately in your account, ready for withdrawal. The next thing is you're going to get team bonus, because you receive a team bonus from levels 2 all the way down to levels 15. So if you refer somebody who refers somebody, that person will be on your second level. And if they referred somebody, that person will be on your third level. And we've got people within our organization that have built communities of more than 50,000 people within 18 months. We've even got one individual who built a community of more than 100,000 members within 12 months. So the sky is the limit. So don't underestimate what might be possible from this program. The next bonus is the leadership bonus, and that's paid on levels 2 to 5. It's a total of 10% commission. We've got the infinity bonus, and as soon as your community has generated sales of more than €250,000, you're going to qualify for an immediate additional 15%, meaning that when you sell those licenses in future, instead of getting 20%, you get 35%. But that extra 15% is paid down all those levels until it comes across another diamond member. But it starts at 15%, goes all the way up to 23%. So potentially combining the infinity bonus with the direct bonus, you could be earning as much as 43% on those licenses that people in your community choose to purchase. And finally, we have what we call a rank bonus. Literally, there are millions of euros to be earned. And when you achieve a rank position within this organization, whether it be a diamond rank or below, then there's an immediate cash payment, which is automatically released into your account. And that represents 2% of your entire turnover within your community. So that completes this part of the presentation. In the next part of the presentation, I'm going to show you the app, which I have downloaded on my tablet, and it will show you all these payments arriving into my account, all by smart contract technology. So I'll see you in a few moments. Okay, so before I show you the apps on my iPad, I want to show you my dashboard. So you can see it's got the name at the top, my name, Malcolm Pennington. So this is definitely my account. And on this home page, there's an indicator you can see there, which is showing at the 5 o'clock position. The significance of that is that means that my minter is completely full. And if I want to increase the capacity, I have to buy another license or some more licenses. But for the moment, the capacity is to the maximum. And this is actually when I was farming or minting for something called PLCUX. Now we've stopped these licenses, so nobody can buy a license anymore for PLCUX. The contract hasn't finished. I'll show you in a moment that these contracts will run, as far as I'm concerned, until I think about next February or March. So we can't buy more licenses for PLCUX because we've now, of course, started the licenses for the Ultima tokens, but the principle is the same. And of course, today, with the minting of the Ultima tokens, we don't even need to download any applications, but I'm going to show you the apps on my iPad because it shows you all those transactions on what is now a very mature account. So yes, the indicator shows that my minting license, my minting technology is full to capacity. And it also shows the maximum load in my minting farm. which is 0.5. That's approximately $50,000. So it's a fairly substantial account. And I want to show you these license keys. Remember, we have to first of all buy a license. So if we're involved in the minting, we buy a license. And if we want to get involved in the cashback and the discount program, we also buy a license. But I bought my first license, as you can see, on the 30th of September 2022, last year. So I bought it for just 1,100. But I've since spent 35,000 on licenses, 35,000 euros on licenses. So that's why when I show you later on in this presentation, some of the packages that we've put together, we've got packages for 10,000 euros, 20,000, 30, 50,000, 100,000, anything up to 500,000, 1 million, maybe even 2 million euros combined with the licenses and the frozen assets. So there's a package to suit everybody effectively, but I'm just showing you what I've accumulated over those months since I've been registered. These are all the licenses you can see, mostly for 1,100. So this was on the 30th of September. I bought a license, my first one for 1,100. Then on the 14th of October, I bought another one, 1,100. The 14th of November, another one for 1,100. And on the 29th of November last year, as I started to see how well this was working, I bought another one for 1,100, one for 5,500, one for 1,100, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100. And bearing in mind that my introducer, who actually lives in Israel, he earns 40%. Every time I buy a license, he gets paid an immediate commission of 40%. So that's not too bad. These are all the other licenses I bought. So on the 8th of December last year, 1,100, 1,100, 1,100. And then on the 8th of December last year, 1,100. Bought one for 110, 550, 275, 110. On the 31st of March last year, this year, I bought one for 11,000. So these are all my licenses. So there's no limit to the size of the license. They go all the way up to 550,000. They start from as little as 110. You can buy as many licenses as you choose, whenever you choose, and every license that you choose has a capacity. So that's how that works. Okay, so you'll see in the top left-hand side of my screen here, I've got two icons. One is the Ultima Farm, one is the Ultima Wallet. As I say, now we don't have to download these applications because it's all done internally inside your account. So I'm going to click on Ultima Farm. I have to enter my password or my passcode. And then this is what the application looks like. In fact, it shows just the same information inside your dashboard. So you can see in this particular account, I'm actually minting for PLCU Classic. And that's the information for PLCU Classic. I'm also minting for PLCUX. And you can see I've got 0.5 in there, so that's worth $50,000. And if I click on this icon just here, and I click on PLCUX, these are all those smart contracts. So every time I have made a deposit into my account, it creates another smart contract. Remember, I was explaining that I get paid 26 times every single month. You can see that the first one was on the 14th of October last year. And if we open that, this is what it looks like. It shows that I made a deposit of 0.01515 PLCUX. So I can tell you that's worth just over $1,500. And these highlighted in blue show that I've been paid. And the next time I'm going to get paid is on the 15th of this month, which I believe is in a couple of days' time. And you will see that I'm actually getting paid 0.00909 on every smart contract, on every payment, which comes in at the same time each month for 12 months, and it will expire on the 14th of October this year, at which stage it will give me a full refund of that initial amount that was frozen, which is 1,515. Okay, so that's how it works. And you can see as well that, take for example, the payment that's going to come in, the next one on the 15th of July, it's going to land into my account at 1500 hours, 40 minutes and 8 seconds. The next one again is on the 15th of the 8th, which is the 15th of August. And that's going to come in at 1:40 in the morning and 8 seconds. So right down to the day, the hour, the minute and the second, I know precisely when that money is arriving. And the money actually arrives into this balance here. And if I click on the balance just there, for example, then I can actually send that to my members account, to my debit card, and obviously to spend it. So we just simply make a transfer, and that transfer is done automatically, literally within seconds. So just going back to these smart contracts, you'll see there's even a little indicator, because the one in green, because it's almost to the right there, is an indication that that is almost due for payment. So that's the 16th of July. This one here, for example, is in the yellow, the 24th of July. So another one that's in the green is the 15th. This one is in the green, the 15th again. So let's just click on any of them at random. This one here, for example, how much is this? This is for 2,108. That's what was frozen. So these are all the payments that have been made into my account. And these are the payments which will be coming in due course. The next one is on the 17th of July. And you can see the amount is 0.011428. This is PLCUX, but of course we've just started, literally within days, the minting of Ultima Token. So now is a perfect time, because with Ultima Token, the minting speed is at the maximum. And that means that if you start minting right now as we speak, you're going to generate 1000% return on what you freeze over the course of the next 60 months, which means you're going to receive 17% of what you freeze every single month into your account. And at the end of 60 months, a 100% refund of those funds that you've frozen. Now, of course, all that income that you're going to receive every single month, you can then use that income to buy vouchers in the cashback, in the discount and the cashback program. And that's also going to multiply your income even further. So in just a few moments, I'm going to show you the spreadsheet which I've created. And that spreadsheet is just to confirm all those smart contracts, shows you precisely what those amounts are, when I'm getting paid, what the amount is in total. And that's why I can tell you that currently those incomes combined currently generate $25,609 worth of crypto coming into my account on a monthly basis. Okay, so here's my spreadsheet, and on the left-hand side here, you can see all the dates I entered deposits into my minting farm. And every time we make a deposit into the minting farm, it automatically creates a smart contract which pays for 60 months. But when I was minting for PLCUX, which is the previous coin, these smart contracts only ran for 12 months. The Ultima Token smart contracts actually run for 60 months. So you can see, for example, on the 10th of February 2023, that was a deposit made, and therefore the first income would be on the following month in March, but that would actually run for 12 months. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it would finish in February 2024 and then provide me a full refund of that actual deposit, which was frozen for the period of the smart contract of 12 months. But the new Ultima tokens, those are actually frozen for 60 months. But of course, we're getting 1000% return on those frozen assets. That's at the moment. But of course, all the time that return is reducing, because it reduces every week. So the sooner that we actually enter that smart contract, we lock in that return for the next 60 months, and therefore we can plan accordingly. So for example, as I was saying, here we are in July. These are all the incomes coming through into my wallet on my smartphone or on my tablet, and there are 26 of them all together, and add all those together and it comes out at 0.25607. Okay, and that in terms of dollars is $25,607. Now what I'm choosing to do, and this is the benefit of being in early, is I'm now choosing to actually swap all of this PLCUX into what we call the mother coin, which is smart coin. And smart coin is no different to Ethereum. It's there to provide, it represents the gas fee on our new smart blockchain. So as that becomes increasingly popular, then the value of smart coin is going to appreciate. And if it does anything like Ethereum, you can imagine what that potential return could be. So if you're not involved with crypto and you're not involved with this company right now, of course, you can't turn back the clock. What you've missed, you've missed. Any missed opportunity has been and gone, but we can only recognize opportunity for the future. And if you remember what I was saying about Dubai, you know, it's all about having a vision, because those people who recognized that Dubai was going to grow because of the benefits of buying property, because of the benefits of living there, then obviously those have seen fantastic appreciation on their outlay in terms of buying real estate. And of course, as I was saying on the video, those people who actually developed those projects and got behind the vision of Dubai and made it actually happen, those people became multimillionaires and even billionaires in Dubai. But I believe that the cryptocurrency market is going to be even bigger and better than what happened in Dubai, because this is going to happen around the world, especially as we start seeing the CBDC, the central bank digital currency. Once that starts happening, then everybody's going to start jumping into the crypto trend. And of course, the later you leave it, the more you are just a passenger rather than a mover and a shaker. And I believe it's all about being in the right place at the right time, recognizing opportunity and getting on board. So that is my spreadsheet. And what I want to show you now is the different packages which you can select, and you select one which is right for you, of course. So let's move on to the packages. Okay, so all the following packages which I'm going to show include all of the following. So that's why we call them combo packages. So they all include the purchase of a debit card, the Mastercard I was telling you about, that costs 110 euros. There's a 99 euro compliance charge, which is a one-time payment. It includes that. And there's also a monthly bank charge, which obviously over the course of the smart contract, being 60 months, that's going to cost 600 in total. So it also includes that as well. Now, of course, these combo packages basically require you to purchase a minting license. So it includes the cost of that, which will vary anywhere between 110 and 550,000. And depending on that license that you purchase, it means the farming unit that you purchase will have a variable cost. The more expensive the license, the more expensive the farming unit. And I'll show you that in a few moments. And then these packages also include the cost of buying the actual cashback license. And the same again, these cost anywhere between 110 euros and 550,000. And depending on the size of the license, that will determine the amount of vouchers that you can purchase and benefit from. Now, what these combo packages don't include is the fact that you're going to receive 120% in shopping points, creating effectively a 20% discount. So do bear that in mind as well. So these are what the packages look like. Let me read this part at the top. These are your out-of-pocket expenses. And the reason I call it your out-of-pocket expenses is because these figures do not include income that has been reintroduced to purchase more vouchers, and therefore multiplying the potential income from using the cash flow to fund more purchases. Also, don't forget, the value of your crypto tokens are likely to appreciate during the next 5 years. So these figures here don't allow for that. But the cost of the bronze package that we've created has a cost of 2,319, and the projected income on that over 60 months is 16,060. It's more, of course, for the silver package. Same again for the gold package. We've got the platinum package, the diamond package, the double diamond, the triple diamond, the blue diamond, double blue diamond, and the triple blue diamond. And you can see on the triple blue diamond package costing just over 2 million euros, which is ideal for a corporation or a business owner, then potentially you could generate over 16 million euros over the 60 months. Now, if we look at this slide here, this is showing you what would happen when the value of Ultima tokens increase 100% to $20,000 a token. Well, obviously, it's going to generate you twice as much income. And so you can see on the bronze package costing 2,319, this potentially could generate you a return of 31,120 euros over those 60 months. A package, let's say, costing 10,994, the gold package is going to produce you 127,520, all the way up to the triple blue diamond package, which is going to generate you multiple millions. And finally, on this slide, this shows what would happen if the value of Ultima tokens was to increase 1,000% to $100,000 per token. And remember what I was saying previously, this company is the only company in history ever to produce a coin or a token that ever increased in value more than the value of Bitcoin. So this is more than likely. And that's what we believe will happen. But of course, no financial guarantees. It even means on a bronze package, if the value of the Ultima tokens increases to $100,000 a token, means your projected return over those 60 months is 160,600. If you go for the gold package costing 10,994, it's going to be 637,600. If you went for the diamond package at 54,919, your projected income over the 5 years is 4,109,433, all the way up to the triple blue diamond package, which has an outlay of 2,155,219 euros, but will produce you a return of 168,694,100. And remember what I was saying in the early stages of this presentation, that it goes without question that Bitcoin has already proven to be the best investment in the history of the world. And not only Bitcoin, but many of the other crypto assets, because they have had a history of appreciating not just 1,000%, but 10,000% and many times more as well. So anything is possible. And I believe it's all about choosing the right company who have the right vision, have the right products, and a track record of making things happen. So finally, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you the income calculator, which will actually show you why these figures are generated and how these figures are actually generated. So let's have a look at the income calculator. Okay, so here's the income calculator, which I created. But first of all, a disclaimer, this is for illustration only. These figures are estimates only, with an assumption that the Ultima token stays at the same price. This is not an investment for your primary income. This is an illustration of the voucher system that provides 20% discount and up to 100% cashback, and liability and responsibility resides with the user. This spreadsheet is not an official company spreadsheet and is for illustrative purposes only. And please check when purchasing the voucher license on the exact costs and the price of the token at the time of purchase, as this will affect these figures. So I'm not able to edit this calculator on this tablet. I can only do that on my main computer. But effectively, there are three things we have to do when using this calculator, and that's follow these simple 3 steps. The first step is enter the monthly minting rate in the green box to the right there, which I've already done so. So what does that mean? 0.17. Well, of course, at the time of recording this video, the minting speed is currently 1,000%, which means that you will receive 1,000% or 10 times the amount of the assets which you choose to freeze over those 60 months. So if you divide 1,000 by 60, it means effectively you're going to receive 17% per month on those frozen assets. And remember, at the end of those 60 months, those frozen assets will become available within your account again. So what is 17% as a decimal? It's 0.17. So that's why I put in 0.17 into that box just there. The second thing is I'm going to enter the monthly minted income into a red box just below. Now I've already entered that, and the figure I've got there is 425. So I can't use this for the bronze package because that produces 170. So I'm going to show you for this purpose, I'm going to show you the silver package because this does produce 425 euros per month. It has an outlay of 5,579 euros. And you can see that that has been entered into the red box just there. So step number 3, enter the maximum indebtedness at any time below step number 3. So what does that mean? If we scroll down here, there's a box here where it says enter the maximum indebtedness at any time during the 12 months, not including the cost of the license. So all we actually do is we scroll along here, this red line here, looking for the biggest number, which is in month 6, which is 2,061.25. So we put that number in there, and then it will also add the cost of the license, which this particular license is just the 110 euro license. And what that means is that at any time, your total indebtedness to the system is only 2,171.25, because you're actually using income that you're generating from cash flow to actually buy vouchers and get the shopping points over the period of time. So you're actually using the cash flow rather than your own capital. And you can see that if we was to actually make a deposit of 425 euros a month over the course of 12 months, you will have made a total deposit of 5,100. But yet it's actually only cost you effectively out of your pocket 2,061.25, because the remainder has come from your cash flow, which is obviously great. And just as a reminder as well, that on this particular license, as it shows in red, the maximum number of vouchers that you can purchase is to 50 times the face value of the license. So if the license is 110, then you can only spend up to 5,500 on vouchers. And you can see that if you spend 425 euros a month, you'll actually be spending 5,100, which is why each package uses typically a different license. The more expensive the package, obviously the more expensive the license that you need to select. So this is okay for this particular package because it means you're going to spend no more than 5,100 during the course of 12 months, and the maximum is a maximum 5,500. So it does fall within the rules of the system. So if we come back up here, we're going to look to the silver package again. Let me talk you through these numbers. Remember on the previous slide, I was saying that these packages include the cost of the debit card, which is 110, bank's compliance fee, which is a one-off payment of 99 euros. You're also going to be paying 10 euros for the bank monthly bank charge, and that shows a little bit further down how that's going to be. You can see on this row here, on row 24, another 59 monthly payments have been added to cover the cost of the monthly fee for the card. And what's the next one? The license fee, which is going to be 2,750 euros for this particular package. And the farming unit, which is how we actually freeze these tokens, is going to cost you 2,500. So that's the maximum farming unit you can buy for that particular license. The cashback license, you only need a 110 euro license for the cashback for this, meaning that the total outlay for this package is 5,579 euros. Now, as you can see, this is actually producing you 425 euros per month. Can't remember how we've worked that out. Actually, it produces 425 a month, simply because you've got you've got 2,500 in your farming unit, remember, and 2,500 multiplied by 17% means you're going to receive 425 euros a month in Ultima Tokens. So that's how that works, 425 euros a month. Okay, so over the course of the 60 months, it's going to produce you 25,500 in total. Now that might be all you want to do. You might just want to take out that package. You might just want to mint those tokens. And if you just do that alone and nothing else, then you're going to receive 25,500 euros of Ultima Tokens over the 60 months. And then at the end of those 60 months, you're going to get a refund of the 2,500 that you've already spent. Now, what this actually shows below is what would happen if you actually put that 425 euros every single month into the discount and the cashback program. So that's why we've entered the 425 in the red box there, because every month you're going to be buying the discount and the cashback vouchers simply because you've got the income to do so. The minting is going to give you 425 euros, which, as I say, you can either withdraw, or if you want to compound and multiply that income, then why not put that into the discount and the cashback program to multiply that income even further? And I'm going to show you in a second what income that will physically produce. So you're going to spend that entire amount of 25,500 on vouchers, and you'll also need 4 more cashback licenses, because the cashback licenses only last for 12 months. So at 110 euros each, that's going to cost you 440 additional outlay. The minting licenses, those only last for 12 months as well, so you'll need 4 more of those. So 2,750 times 4 is 11,000. And we've also included, as you can see, the monthly bank charges at 10 euros, and you've got 59 of those because you've already paid one, and that is another 590. So if you add all that together, it's actually 37,530, but the actual cost to you is only 5,579, because the remainder is going to come from the cash flow, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, what this also includes as well is withdrawals that you can actually withdraw from your minted income over the next 5 years. Now, how I've actually calculated that, and it works out at 10,625, is because if we scroll down here, we can see that from month 8, where the color changes from light blue to dark blue, the income generated is 434, which means this is now starting to fund itself. So that means month 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, that's 5 months that we don't have to spend that 425 out of our pocket, because we're going to spend it from the income. Okay, so that's 5 months. And if we multiply 5 by 5, because we're going to have to do that for the next 5 years, that means that effectively we can withdraw 425 times 25, meaning a total of 10,625, and still see our capital multiplying and growing at the same time. Now, the total amount of income generated is 56,100, and we also received, don't forget, a full refund after 6 years of the amount that's been frozen. So in terms of the total income, it works out on this particular package at 79,225 euros. The outlay, as we've said, is 37,530, much of it which is going to be funded from your cash flow. And so therefore, at the end of 5 years, your net profit, if the token remains the same value, is 41,695 euros. Now, if the value of the Ultima token doubles to $20,000 a token, means your assets will be worth 83,390 euros. And if your Ultima tokens multiply 10 times, so that they're actually worth $100,000 per token, it means your assets are now worth 416,950. Okay, so let's just have a look at one more example. We'll look at the diamond, for example. The diamond, 4250, that's right, that's already been calculated. So on the diamond, the outlay is 54,919 euros, and this allows you to withdraw over the next 5 years 106,250 euros in Ultima Tokens, and your overall income over 5 years will be 785,333, subtracting the actual cost, much of it which has been funded from cash flow, of 374,390, meaning that over 5 years, you'll generate a net profit of 410,943 on an outlay of just 54,919. If the value of the Ultima token was to double and go to 20,000, it means your assets will be worth 821,887. And if it was to go all the way up to $100,000, which many people believe they will do, then potentially your assets could be worth over 4 million. 4,109,433. So you can see it's all been calculated using the rules of the system. And what I'm going to do now is just round off this presentation and just summarize what we've actually discussed so far. So congratulations, you've actually watched the entire presentation, which was 1 hour and 40 minutes. But I'm hoping that you gained a lot of value. And I can just say one thing, that in my personal experience, most people are not interested in technology. They're not interested in what happens in the economy. And those people who are curious suffer from impatience. They want to know everything in 5 minutes. And if it was as easy as that, you know, let's face it, people would go to university for 3 weeks and not 3 or 4 years or more. So it requires effort on our part to understand this technology, but above all, the best way to learn is by taking action. And I'm here to support you in your journey towards success with crypto. And so if you're watching this video as a result of receiving it by email, then contact the person who sent you the email or sent you this video. If it happens to be me, then there'll be a link in the email to my calendar. And I'm going to recommend that you book a 30-minute slot on my calendar. I can answer any questions, and above all, I can give you some income scenarios that are suitable for you and your circumstances in your business. And of course, if you decide you want to get started, I'll be able to help you register your free account, buy those licenses, buy the cashback and the discount vouchers, etc. And the whole process should take no more than 30 minutes maximum. Okay, so the other thing to bear in mind, of course, is that we are ahead of technology here. CBDC that we spoke about is coming whether you like it or not. So cryptocurrency is going to become mainstream, just like using the internet is now mainstream, just like using debit cards, mainstream, and cryptocurrency is going to be the same. And with that being the case, when it does become mainstream, everybody will want to be jumping into crypto because it's become popular and fashionable. So think ahead, think about where you would like to be 3 to 5 years from now and get positioned, because this vehicle can create generational wealth if you position yourself in this financial movement moving forward. And once the popularity of crypto goes through the roof, imagine if you're starting to build a community, then your community is going to maximize and double and treble and quadruple in size as everybody wants to jump in on your community. So whichever way that you look at this, whether it's the increase in value in your assets or the increase in size of your community, you can only gain financially by being a part of this movement. So I hope you've enjoyed the information. And if you are happen to be watching this on YouTube, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments if you wish. And other than that, all I have to say is thanks again for having the patience to watch the entire presentation. Do make contact with me via my calendar link, and I wish you a very good day and every success in your crypto journey. Have a great day. I'll speak to you soon.